Parents listen a great deal to their children reading their school books, far more than us teachers are able to do in a busy classroom. And when parents have children who are struggling, they are usually aware that their children are guessing many of the words. That usually is a sign that their children are grasping at straws, are expected to read books that are not decodable, and do not really know how to work the words out properly. Guessing words is a difficult habit to stop, and basically it is the children's poor phonic knowledge and poor blending skills that are causing the major problems. It can help if children are shown the alphabetic code. Now, these codes were shown in the section Understanding the English Alphabetic Code. It doesn't matter which code you look at. Now, if the child was expected to read a sentence like this and had not been told that the letters PH have a F sound, then blending the word elephant would be difficult. Elephant. Then you might like to show them on the alphabetic chart that the usual way of representing the F sound is with the F, but here sometimes the PH can do the F sound. And then the rest of the sentence will become decodable. The elephant felt very, they should know the Y at the end is E, very hot. But if they didn't, well then again you can show on the chart exactly, here we have it, exactly, usually the double E, but sometimes the Y at the end has that E sound. And that makes it much clearer to children and they can see where they're going. Parents who are lucky to have children who find it easy to read and write often think that all the bedtime stories and good parental support they have provided have ensured their children's success. That is, until they have a child who struggles. Only then do they realise how hard it can be for some children and that much more teaching and support is needed for these children than the others. Frequently, they realise that it has little to do with intelligence. Their struggling child seems just as bright as his or her siblings. Also, there are many parents who do all the correct things and are at a loss as to why their children find it so difficult. Now, hopefully this website will give parents a much better understanding of the alphabetic code, how to teach reading and writing, and why some children struggle. It is best when teachers and parents work together to ensure that all the children master reading and writing in their primary years, so that they can go on and take full advantage of their secondary education. We know it is possible, as explained in Preventing Reading and Writing Problems, and that the so-called disadvantaged children, such as boys, or from low-income families, or who have English as a second language, or have summer birthdays, or special educational needs, are also able to be very successful, so long as they are taught with synthetic phonics and decodable readers. The reason the children who have English as a second language are able to do well is because they are being taught all the time in English. This enables young children to pick up spoken English naturally, in a similar way to their mother tongue. It also gives the children the necessary understanding to make sense of the books and texts they read, once they have been taught how to read. As for them learning how to decode, we know the children are just as able to learn this skill as the English-speaking children. In non-English-speaking countries, it is a different situation. There, the children are being taught English as a foreign language. They can learn decoding just as well, but need much more attention on the listening and speaking of English in order to understand the language. The most effective solution seems to be working well in countries that teach the children at a young age for 40% of the time in English. At the same time, they are taught to read English words using synthetic phonics. This approach seems to be extremely successful. The two elements needed for reading, namely decoding and comprehension, come together very effectively.